So the market is been really wild this year. And I think we went into this year hopeful that interest rates would change, and they haven't. I mean, they've come down a little bit, but for the most part, they haven't. Not enough to be um, a significant change to the buyers that need it the most, right? The entry level buyers. And with that, we're seeing a lot of inventory on the market right now on the sale side. We're seeing inventory on the rental side, not as much as the sale side though. And it's interesting in seeing how they're connected. Yet right now, if I had a crystal ball, the things that I think it would tell me right now about the sales market going into the rest of this year, considering that interest rates are probably going to stay pretty stable, we're still seeing a market that is trending towards the buyer's direction, right? So in this last month, we saw all but four areas here in the valley, four little towns or cities, I don't know what we're calling them, that have not become worse from a seller's perspective. We had, Maricopa, Buckeye, Glendale, Avondale were the only four that saw a little bit of a positive boost from a seller's perspective. All the rest became more buyer's markets, where supply again exceeded demand more so than than the month previous. So I think looking at it from that standpoint, we should be in the season right now where stuff's getting gobbled up. We are seeing a lot of activity, so I'm not going to, give you the impression that the market is stalled out here or anything. It's just we're just seeing a lot of inventory, a lot of houses hitting the market. Even us at Capstone, we've got a lot that are still going to hit the market here within the next couple of months. So just more inventory for people to choose from, which means longer time on market, which means more pricing adjustments, which we are seeing in the market as a whole. We're seeing a lot of price adjustments. So why this matters and why this is important to you, I've had the fortunate opportunity to be speaking with more clients this week in the first 2 days than I have in a minute. And I love that because it gives me perspective as to where your all's heads are, how we can, of course, be improving. By improving, I don't mean, hey, let me fix something because we're something fell apart in the moment. It's more so, what can we be looking towards in 6 months to better prepare us for what's coming? And getting your perspective on what you're going to need is super, super helpful to us. I know I beat this to death. The whole motivation for us to have Capstone is to offer a better service than we can find somewhere else. So we're constantly working on improving things, and you're going to see that more and more this year. I'm going to continue to reiterate that, not only to you, but also to the team. The team is recognizing, okay, we've got to be able to change sometimes our perspectives in making sure that we're able to offer this level of service in arguably in industry that does not favor service. And how do we continue to do that? By looking forward 6 months to a year to 2 years and say, this is what we want to be doing. So I think your insight and feedback is always appreciated, and we always take it into consideration. That being said, when you are considering, if you haven't put a plan together, and if, like me, for the longest time as a real estate investor, I had a goal. Once that goal came and went, I really didn't have another goal behind that. And I think if you're interested in talking through your goals on the real estate side, let's talk. I love that stuff. That's where I can help you the most. I see it from so many different angles, from so many different owners. Myself, an investor, I can give you perspective. It's almost like, let's go to real estate investor therapy together, and let's talk through this stuff, because there aren't a lot of places that we get the opportunity to share in a safe space of ideas or things that we think might work or not. If you have something that you've been mulling over, let me hear about it. I'd love to hear about it. especially when it comes to your portfolio. You might think that because I'm a property manager and managing your property, you might think that there's no way that Ed would want you to sell that house because then I would lose income and opportunity in the future. But it's absolutely incorrect. It all comes down to the numbers. It all comes down to what's going to work for you. I want to hit it. I want us to knock it out of the park for you. Why? Because I want you to refer everybody you know, right? I want you to be like, Capstone is so good. Like, why wouldn't I refer them? That's what we're trying to create here. So at the end of the day, if you want to talk about what you've got going on, I got a good buddy I talked to this week. Chewy, what's up? He's flipping houses. And looking at his scenario here, it made a lot of sense to really open that conversation up again. And not only him, but in other situations, it's understanding what is the potential, what are the opportunities that you have, not just here in Arizona, but in other places, and how can this property or properties, how can this serve you where you are, or open that door to your next level of investment, whether it's in Arizona or not. So yeah, let's talk through that stuff. I'd love to help where I can, and if we can offer value there that can be helpful, I would love to. For this week, again, I did talk about the sales stuff and what we're seeing on the inventory side. I'm not worried. But again, if we're thinking about real estate in 10-year increments, right? I'm not worried because I got nothing to worry about for the next 5 years or so. And I'm not even thinking about selling properties because it doesn't make sense. However, if you're thinking about selling, or you're thinking about what would I do with that money in the next 5 years, that's a good indicator that maybe now is the time to really start putting a plan together. You don't have to execute on anything yet, but it's at least knowing what other people are doing and what other opportunities are out there, whether it's a 1031 exchange and what's included there. What are the pitfalls and challenges you need to be thinking about or looking at from that perspective? Not from somebody who's selling you on their 1031 experience, right? Because at the end of the day, we're not intermediaries. However, why do you need one? Why? What do they cost? What does that look like? What are the pain points that a realtor, if we're selling a property, what do we need to do to be in alignment with the person who's helping you buy on the other side? What can we do to make it a lot easier? We got enough at-bats now to tell you a lot of that stuff. So let us know where we can help. I know we don't tout our production or sales or volume of property management as often as we could, but we do a lot of it. So as you can, as you navigate through it, let us know, because again, that experience is here for you to tap into when you need it. Appreciate you watching this video. If there's anything we can do right now to answer for you, I'm sure somebody else might find it helpful as well, and we'd love to hear it. If you've got feedback for our service, if you've got feedback for one of the members on our team, please share it. We do, the team does love the kudos, and I love hearing where we can be improving. So please let us know. Thank you so much, and I will see you next week.